Alright, so this is a tutorial on how to install CHECKRA1N on a Windows device, since it's only meant to install on Linux or Mac, but there is a Windows way. So this is how you do it. Basically, you're going to want to go to this link in the description. And it's going to have all the instructions, but I'm going to give you a visual instruction of this. So the first step you're going to want to do is you want to download Bootloop, whatever the fuck that is, Bootloop. If your computer is older than a decade, you might want to check whether it's 64 or 32-bit, but if you have a pretty good computer or it's decent, it's probably 64-bit. So download the 64-bit. It's gonna take 5 minutes. I've already done this, so I'm not gonna do that, but yeah, you want to download the 64-bit or 32-bit if you really have a 32-bit. So this program right here, step number 2, works with this here, so you want to download this as well, which I have a different one. It's a little bit easier to use, and it's less like in your face, like, oh, what am I doing? It's just really simple. So you want to go to this second one. So I know it says use Rufus, but it's going to be Balena Etcher. So you want to go to that in the description. Download for Windows. Once that's done, you're going to want to open it up. So this will be the first program you're actually opening. You click agree. And then you're going to want to flash from file. So with the file you're flashing is the one you downloaded before, the 64 or 32-bit one. So you're going to want to select that. So flash from file, and then just choose it from your file. And it's going to ask which USB you want to put it on. You need a, so before all this, you need a USB that is completely free. There's nothing on it. It needs to be at least 1 gigabyte. And if you don't have that, they're pretty cheap. 1 gigabyte ones, probably like $5. But yeah, so once you do that, you're gonna hit flash, and then once that's all done, you can X out of this. So I'm not doing this since I already did this. So the next step is to reboot and run CHECKRA1N. So to do this, you're actually going to need to find out the BIOS key for your motherboard. This link will also be in the description. It tells you the brand of your PC, what key is used to open it. So you see there some are different. Some use the delete key, some use F2. I believe those are the popular ones. There's an F1 one. Okay, so for mine, it's the gigabyte. So it says for me to press the delete key. I mean, you can do that. That works too, but for the gigabyte, there's a little shortcut called F12. So that's what I'm gonna be doing. So find your key and then go to the bottom here and click restart. Make sure your USB is already plugged in, as it should be. And go ahead, click restart. And as soon as it boots up, hit that BIOS key. So mine's F12. You're just gonna want to press it multiple times. Just keep spamming it until it pops up, just like that. All right, now you're gonna want to pick the USB drive that has, or the USB that you installed that file on. So mine is this one. All right, you're gonna be brought to this page. So you're gonna have all these options. Just use your arrow keys. You're gonna click enter on the first one, USB safe. I'm just gonna wait for that to load. Okay, now once it's loaded, you're gonna want to type in ANON. I'm gonna put that on the screen. ANON. Hit enter. and it's going to ask for a password, and you're going to type in VOIDLINUX, and it's not going to show, but it's there. It's just invisible text, so you don't have to worry about that. And then click enter once you've entered that, and then it's gonna basically, it's asking you what you want it to do. So you're gonna make it run CHECKRA1N. You're gonna type in SUDO space CHECKRA1N for CHECKRA1N. So sudo space CHECKRA1N, and then hit enter. And then you're gonna get a prompt on your phone to trust the computer, or you might have already done this already. Basically, if you have a password on your phone, make sure you just hit trust and enter the password. You can do this without a password or with a password, it doesn't matter. I'll show you how to do it with both. I mean, it's just a tiny extra step with a passcode, but it's not a pain in the ass. So okay, so now when you're on this part, basically you don't want to change any of your options. You want to use your arrow keys and go to start, and you want to hit enter, and then hit next, and your phone's gonna turn off. It's gonna enter recovery mode. You're gonna basically, it's gonna put you on a screen that looks like this, and once it's done that, it's gonna go to this next step, and you gotta put your device in DFU mode. So you just put it in recovery mode. Now the next step is DFU, and it tells you how to do that. So I don't really have to tell you how to do that. Just read that part. It's the only part you gotta really read. So you're gonna hit start, and hit start on the CHECKRA1N, which is enter, and you're gonna press and hold down the side and volume down button together. That's if you have an iPhone 10 or up. Hit start, hold down the volume down button and the power button, then release the power button, keep holding the volume down button, and once it says it's in DFU mode successfully, it's gonna do that. Do a side-by-side view. So your phone's gonna boot, and once you see the code on the screen, you're gonna wanna unplug the phone only if you have a passcode. If you don't have a passcode, you can leave it plugged in, but if you have a passcode, you have to unplug it as soon as that code pops up, that weird code. So now, once that's done, you're not done with the computer yet, so don't turn that off. You're gonna enter your passcode. And next you're gonna want to plug in your phone again. So I can't really do that with one hand. All right. So yeah, enter your passcode, enter in the USB, go ahead, trust the computer. And that should be it. And then back on your computer, done, and done. Now what you'll notice is an app on your phone called CHECKRA1N. It'll probably be on the last page of your phone or whatever space was open. So it's going to install an app there called CHECKRA1N. You're going to want to open it. You're going to see in Cydia, and you're going to hit install Cydia. So I already have it installed. So Cydia looks like this. So yeah, and that's basically it. Okay, so your iOS device is in a boot loop. All you can see is the Apple logo. What the fuck do you do? Basically what you want to do is hard reset it. You can usually do this with CHECKRA1N. Usually CHECKRA1N just puts you in an Apple loop. If you get put into a respring loop, I don't really know what to do, but there's probably other videos that tell you what to do. Unless you've been scrolling through videos, then I'm sorry. But if you're on an Apple logo boot loop, you're going to want to you're gonna want to hard reset your phone. If you don't know how to do that, Google what kind of phone you have, and basically just go on Google and be like, how do you hard reset an iPhone 7, 8, 10, 11? So I have an iPhone 10. You're gonna want to so to hard reset that. So when you're on your Apple logo, to hard reset it on an iPhone 10, you're gonna want to hit the top volume key and then the bottom volume key, and then hold the power button, or the Siri button, whatever you call it, until it reboots. And then once you're logged in, it's not going to be jailbroken, but this is how you basically go back to a jailbreak. Because if you go back to a jailbreak, it'll go back into a Apple loop and you don't want that. So how do you go back without it doing the boot loop again? So to do that, you're going to want to go back on this page. So if you already know what this is, if you've already been on the CHECKRA1N jailbreak, and you're going to want to go into options, and safe mode will be unchecked. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to actually want to check it. Once you've checked it, go ahead and hit back, and you're going to do the process one more time. Same process, and that should fix it. So you'll notice your tweaks aren't working, or it just looks like a normal stock iOS. It doesn't look like any of your tweaks are there. This is how, but you can open Cydia. So this is how you get them back. Basically, you go to Cydia, you hit search, and you type in Cydia substrate. Click on it. Go ahead, click modify. Then click reinstall. But don't hit confirm just yet. Hit that continue queuing button. And then you're gonna want to search for Cydia safe mode. I'm not sure if the safe mode is required, but let's just do it anyways. What's it called? Oh wait, substrate safe mode. There it is. All right, you go to substrate safe mode, click reinstall, and then it's gonna tell you under modifications that you want to install both of them. But hit confirm. Then go ahead and restart the springboard. Now you'll notice that all your tweaks are back. Hopefully. If not, I don't know what you did. But you didn't follow my instructions. But yeah, your stuff should work now. And that should be it. And thanks for watching.